I've had thousands of people say, I just need more self-confidence. How do I get more self-confidence? And so confident for what? And there's something they want to do, like you're saying. I go, have you done it? And they go, no, I need to get confident so I can do it. I go talk to somebody else because that ain't the way the world works.
Right.
Anybody here, you walk across this room, you don't think about it because you've done it before.
Right. That's right.
And people want confidence before they do something. We do something and we take little steps and you fall down.
Right.
And you've got to get into the mindset of course I don't know how to do it. I haven't done it, and normalize that. That's okay. It's called learning. But if you don't have the space in your head to learn and fail and fall down and learn from that and throw an interception and go back to the huddle and call another play, you think you got to do it perfect before you've done it.
Yeah.
You said something great, stretch.
Yeah.
If you don't know about this, it's called flow research.
That's right.
And there's an axis here of challenge, and there's an axis here of ability. And so the flow goes like that on the graph. So when we're in the flow, it's where the challenge is meeting our ability. Okay, to get to the next corner, what do you have to do? You have to up the challenge a little past your ability.
That's right.
And that's where you feel that gap of anxiety.
Yes.
Normalize the anxiety and take little steps, because if you try to do this, the anxiety has a curve.
Yeah.
It'll increase performance because it activates the system. Olympic swimmers, when they're on the stand, they have the same physiological arousal as a panic disorder.
Wow.
But they don't interpret it as something bad.
Huh.
And so what you've got to do is normalize, I'm stepping into something I've never done before. Great. That means your system is awake. But if you try to bite off too much, it'll overwhelm it.
Right.
On the other side, back to your stretch goal, if you're never doing something past your ability, you're asleep, you're dead, you're not growing.
Yeah.
We need stretch goals, but we need stretch goals that don't tear muscle. Every day, do something in your business or your marriage or whatever that gets you out over your skis a little bit.
It blows my mind that there are companies collecting your personal data, like your name, address, even your family connections, and then selling it online. That's why I use Delete Me. Your name is your brand. If you want to win at work, grow your income, and lead well, you have to protect it. Delete Me finds your info on data broker sites, removes it, and makes sure it stays gone to protect your good name. Go to joindeleteme.com/frontrowseat today and get 20% off an annual plan. I want to talk about the tension between, okay, I want to grow, I want to get better, I want to stretch, and contentment. And I find that to be, I'm not sure I've figured it out, and I want to go to school here. What is that healthy tension there? Or maybe that's not the right.
No, it's a great point.
Yeah. Like I want to grow,
but
I also need to be content with what I have.
Yeah. And one of the things you got to think about here is, where's it coming from? Because a lot of the wish for more income, more revenues, better life, whatever it is, those are good desires. We're fueled by desire, hunger. We want more. We want to get better. If a tree is not growing and producing more, it's not alive. That's good if it's from desire, something that's truly you, that you desire. Sometimes we want more, but it's coming out of different motivation. If it's coming out of envy, because you're comparing yourself to others and I'm not good enough because I got to be like that, it'll never fulfill you, and it'll create all sorts of other anxiety. Mm-hmm. If it's coming out of to prove yourself, either to yourself or somebody else, then you're on a pass-fail thing, like, the Carol Dweck,
yes.
Research talks about that. The growth mindset wants more because it's a real desire. There's a proverb. It says, a longing fulfilled, a desire accomplished becomes a tree of life.
Yeah.
Now, contentment, when you accomplish something that's real, what all the happiness research shows is that gets savored like a good meal. Mm. And you that's why we have, they pop the champagne at the
Right.
end of the tournament or the
Right.
game. And you've got to be able to savor it, but then you want to go win the next one, but it doesn't spoil the one you have. Envy is a spoiler. Envy defines the good by that which I don't have. So if I hadn't gotten it yet, I'm no good or it's no good. And then when I get it, what's good? What I don't have. So what I have is not any good. So we never get to gratitude. Desire and gratitude, you put those together and you've conquered that dynamic tension you're talking about.
That's really good, because it is normal for us to want to keep growing. And
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it is. I think it's wired into our
100%.
humanness,
But
we don't want it to grow, like you said, to where I'm just looking at the scoreboard only.
The scoreboard,
Right.
yeah. And the other thing is, here's what we know about the great performers. They love the process as much as the trophy.
That is true. That's right.
And if you think about it, if it's coming from desire, like I grew up competitive golfer, and I would get as much pleasure out of being in a corner of a course with my shag bag at twilight hitting shots,
Right.
because you just love what you're doing. And then you go put it to, tournament test. But if it doesn't count unless you have won something, it's never going to fulfill.
Yeah. The process, to love the process. I don't think a lot of people think of work that way, to go, okay, what inside my job function do I actually really love?
Yeah.
I think we kind of get focused on other things. And I think of the master craftsman, right? They're the ones that are like, they know, they're putting it together. In the white collar business world, how can we dive in a little bit to find something that's fundamental to go, I love this part of the work. This is the process piece. How do we do that?
Well, the first thing you got to also realize is you're not going to love all of it.
That's right.
Right. I remember, I don't remember who it was. It was an Olympic swimmer. I saw her interviewed and the training regimen and all that. And the interviewer says, well, you just must love to get up in the morning and hit that pool, because she's talking about she loves swimming. And she said, I hate it every morning. And the interviewer goes, why? She said, because I hate cold water.
Right.
But I do it because the process is not every moment of every task. The process is always being very, very engaged in where we're going and that we're getting there, because you're not going to love every minute of it. And we have to do crap that we don't want to do.
Right.
But if most of it is not happening in your signature strengths and passions, it's probably a miscast long term. It's really not sustainable unless you have a lot of people who work 3 jobs they hate. Why? Because they want to send their kid to college. Then that process gets meaningful again, because we're talking about the reason and the why.
There's a clear why. It's interesting. I was thinking while you were talking, you and I've hung out with a lot of big time coaches. I've been able to interview some of the biggest, most successful ones, and I've learned that they love practice more than they love the games.
That's what I mean. You're out there hitting the shot.